Da, 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 da. Oi. Hello, 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 hello. I hope everyone is well out there, enjoying their Friday, enjoying May 1st, first day of the month. I don't know about you, but April happened. It happened. I don't know what that was all about, but at least it's done with now. And hopefully better things will happen in May. So I'll wait for some more folks to trickle in if they trickle in. Allie's here. Hello, hello, hello. The sun is starting to peep out, and I only hope that it continues to come out. Parks open tomorrow, as do golf courses, which is cool. And I'm hoping we get a chance to go. Oh, Allie left. Okay. You did? Awesome. Allie, that's fantastic. I apologize if there was any mix-up with anything. Oh, I got 3 of them. That's fantastic. Let's take a look. While you're here, I'll just glance at it real quick. Crayon art. I'm excited to read on. Cool. I'm excited to see your work. That was, as I started that sentence, I was like, oh, I hope we get to see your work. So I'm guessing then, is this the kind where you melt them, like down the canvas? Because if so, that's pretty freaking awesome. I've always wanted to try that, and I never have. Ashley, hello. Sorry, Allie, I'm just going to answer this question real quick for Ashley. It's so, I had a big mix-up, and I think honestly because I forgot the day of the week the last time we met. So I had said in the stream that it was due at the end of class today. So that part is correct. And that way, if you, like, I'm looking at Allie's now, so I can just give her some quick feedback. If you're working on yours now and you have a question, then we're here and we can talk that out. Or if people are finished with it, as some people have turned in, they can just bounce in and say, hey, I've turned it in, I'm good, see you later. That's cool too. But I said in the video it was due today, but the post on Classroom had said a different date, and so I don't want to mix anybody up. So originally, while I did say 1 o'clock, the end of class today, it said in the original Classroom post, and I've since edited it, that it was due on Tuesday, May 5th. And I if people were like, oh, okay, cool, I've got the weekend to do it, then I don't want to be like disingenuous to those people. That was a mistake on my part, so you guys can reap the benefits of that mistake. So if you get it done by today, one less thing to have to worry about by next class, but I'll still honor it on time if it's in by then. So you hold the crayon against the canvas and then you kind of blow dry it. Interesting. I've always seen them like at the top and then they blow dry them and they just kind of melt down. But sometimes people will put things on the canvas so that it hits and then goes down the sides. I think I've seen people use like a clear coat. I don't know if it's like a nail polish or something where like it just kind of hits and goes. It won't cover that. Or it just goes right over it. Doesn't leave a mark, which is pretty cool. Oh my God, Ashley, I'm totally messing up Google Classroom then. The start of class on Friday, that's also incorrect. Not that it matters much, but it should have said end of class. Not that it matters much, I'm going to change it. But I did put the post up there, I guess, whoops. I think it was yesterday, because I did the same thing in my 3B yesterday. The dates were all sorts of screwed up. And so my correction message yesterday on post said that it should have said it's due Friday by the end of class, but that I won't mark anything late if it gets turned in on Tuesday. So my apologies, Ashley, for that confusion. That is totally on me. I did not check my Google Classroom wording correctly, and I got my dates mixed up because every day blurs together. And that's not an excuse. I'm pretty sure the last time that we met on Wednesday, I thought it was Tuesday or Thursday or something. So if you get it done by the end of class today, awesome, because then I can leave some notes or feedback. But if you get it done by Tuesday as well, that's fine. I'm not going to mark anything late there. Perfect for last minute birthday gifts. That's not a bad idea, actually. And it's homemade, and yeah, it's okay. Tips and tricks look great too. And I'm even glad that you said that it was developed over trial and error. I think that would be worth mentioning in your video because, like, what better way to show that you've learned something by kind of tinkering with a formula until you've got it kind of perfected. And that was every question you were kind of addressing are questions that I'm coming up with, which is awesome. Alex, hello. It's very easy to blend and a mistake may turn out cool. Yeah, well, that's part of that trial and error thing. I did one of those, like, I don't even know if they're still around anymore. They were like popular. Was I in high school? I don't remember. Like those pottery places where you would go and you would make like a dish and you'd paint it and then they would give it to you a couple of days later. I made like a sushi plate and I didn't know what I was doing, but it turned out really cool. And it was like totally by accident. Okay, Alex, so my only feedback or criticism that I think, because I think everything is thorough and awesome, and I'm excited to watch this already. Your title is a little wordy. How to make the easiest picture ever that would make you look professional. I would try and I would shorten it a little bit, but, and you can have like a subtitle. But I would try and work, I don't know if it's official, is it called crayon art? So like I would probably work that into the title a little bit. Like crayon art made easy, get that professional look. Something along those lines would be like, I hate to even view it this way, but my mentality is changing on a lot of stuff. Like that would be the YouTube headline or link that I would look for, right? I would work crayon art into the title in some capacity. Just because make the easiest picture. Well, when I think of picture, I think of like framed pictures, you know what I mean? Or taking a picture with a camera. So I think if you specify crayon art, that's going to be, that would help you quite a bit there. But that's a quick and easy fix. Otherwise, super thorough. That was really great. And just for everyone else in the chat, as a point of comparison, if you feel like, wait, am I doing this right or am I adding too many things? Allie has 14 steps in just her how-to part. So, you know, be as thorough as you need to because those 14 parts are going to be the steps that we follow, and some of the things that she's written are going to be her word tracks for what she's saying and what we see while she's doing that, which is wonderful. So if you're just joining us a little bit later, Ryan, Alex, Caitlin, welcome. Wanted to clear up some of the confusion on the wording in the last post and the follow-up post. I apologize if that was confusing to some people. I had said in our last stream that the pre-production worksheet was supposed to be due by the end of class today, and then I realized in the Google Classroom post, it had said that it was supposed to be due by Tuesday. So I made a correction to that post, but then I corrected it incorrectly and said that it was due by the start of class today. So that wasn't even correct. And that was all on me, and I apologize Allie and Caitlin, I saw that you guys had turned it in. If you rushed to get that in, I'm sorry if it put you under the gun a little bit. Ryan, I see yours here too. Awesome. So if you need more time with it, you can certainly take it. And anyone that is in the chat now, since I had originally or accidentally put in Tuesday, if it gets turned in Tuesday, I'm not going to mark it late by any stretch of the imagination. That was my fault, and you guys should capitalize on my mistakes. Because that wouldn't be fair. If I was like, oh, I said Tuesday, well, I meant Friday, so it's due today. That would be kind of a jerk move. So if you need more time, take it. But our time today is going to be troubleshooting, helping. So Caitlin and Ryan, I just looked at Allie since she was here. If you want me to look at your stuff, and I'm going to adjust my position because I'm in a ton of pain. Okay. Oh, I might as well, right? Whoops. Let's get out of that. Actually, Ryan, I think, was here first. Let's take a look at Ryan's. I wonder if Ryan is going to put what I thought. Oh, okay. I don't know why, Ryan, when I was trying to come up with examples for stuff, and I know I mentioned, wow, my camera shot looks really weird. I'm kneeling on my chair here. Apologize for the mess. When I was coming up with like examples to discuss in class, I ended up using jump shot as a reference, but for whatever reason, my initial thought was a slap shot, and I'm like, oh, Ryan's going to do something hockey oriented. I guess roller hockey is thing, but rollers, okay, cool, really good at roller skating. Little background info, love it. It was invented in 1735. Holy crap. Okay, listen, I got through part 1, question 1 of your worksheet, and if that works its way into the video, I'm already hooked. I didn't know that. Roller skating is older than our country. That's kind of cool. It wasn't patented until, okay, a little bit later. Of course, that makes sense. I'm sure. Yeah. All right, so Ryan, because yours is such a physical activity, you want to just try and be as thorough as you can with like the pushing process. And obviously it makes sense that you're going to repeat like left leg, right leg, but you want to kind of maybe preemptively think about some things that people might do incorrectly and then warn them against that, right? Like, and I don't know, I'm trying to think of it. Like, I know how to roller skate, but I don't know if I would know how to explain to someone how to roller skate. I should ask every father that's ever taught their kid how to ride a bike how they did it, because it's probably easier said than done. Like, am I going to push my leg? What if I fall forward on my face? Like, how do you balance? Things like that. So, like, I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit. I would also maybe even get into some safety things too. It's okay to fall, just have fun. Honestly, that's a good thing to note. You may want to put some mention, I would think, also for like, how do you stop? Okay, that's the biggest thing that people might come across. Well, I can start rollerblading, but I have to run into something to stop. Or like, I had a friend who didn't know how to brake, so he would just kind of hit the curb and then not like hard. Stop doing that. My stream is lagging. Even though it says it's healthy, that's kind of a lot to normal. Okay, cool. Ish. So as I was saying, Ryan, sorry, I was checking and the stream was crapping out. You modified that list, but this needs to adhere to the 5 shots that were in there. So I'm going to add that as a note, if I can spell correctly. 5 shots need to be the same as listed on stipulation sheet. I'll just change that to project sheet. All right. So like the close up, extreme close up, um, I would kind of use those for maybe your equipment shots, right? Like you can get an extreme close up of the helmet strap, making sure that like the strap's connected. You can do a close up of lacing up the skates. Let's see what else could work. Your tracking shot. Well, if you do a POV shot, that's not really a tracking shot at all. Medium shot you're going to find is going to be your most commonly used shot when you're explaining something to the camera. Your top-down shot could be, here's all the pads and the skates kind of like together if you're going to talk about what you need, right? Just like maybe lay everything out in the garage, your driveway, and then boom, top-down shot. The tracking or dolly shot could very simply just be a variation of a close-up with some camera movement. So I would go back and tweak some of those shots that were listed there. This is not much better for my back. Ugh, shame. Jaren is here. Hello. Let's see. I just opened up Caitlin's. Let's get into that one next. Just see while Caitlin's here. Take a quick look. Ba-ba-da-ba. All right. Caitlin's going to give us a makeup how-to. Cool. Which is good. So I have, it should go without saying, very little to no experience doing that myself. So I might have some intrinsic questions along the way. Let's take a look here. Smart choice for question 1. Like I think you saying your history with it is more important than getting into the actual history of it. I think in this case that works to your advantage. I think like Ryan, your historical note in the beginning there is really cool. And that works given what you're doing. But Caitlin, I think we're going to lean into your expertise for this one. I think that's a good choice. Eyeshadow foundation. Cool. You're doing it best because you can explain it in simple terms. I love that. That's great. Because if there's one thing I find in a lot of if I'm looking up video stuff, for example, or streaming stuff, computer part, anything like really technical, people are very inclined to want to flex their expertise by using terminology or phrasing that, like I may use like industry terms when talking to a buddy that works in industry because like we speak that same language. But, if I'm helping a coworker, a friend of mine, I had Miss Petey asked me some questions this morning about, live streaming on YouTube. I'm not going to get into encoders and stream keys and like with all that without like giving some background information and stuff. So I think that's a smart choice. So my only question, I guess, much like Allie's, would come in with a title. I think you've nailed it. I don't know, again, because I don't have the same level of expertise as you do. How to do makeup for beginners is what you're demonstrating with the type of makeup that you're using. Is that like, is there a name or term for that routine? Would that be considered like your basic everyday kind of makeup? And again, I'm not trying to like belittle wearing makeup. I don't know, so I don't know if you want to maybe even not simplify, but tweak that a little bit. Within your title, I think basic is, I don't know what, I don't know what women wake up and then say, okay, these are the everyday items that I need to put on my face to feel that I have, I'm doing my makeup. I know that changes person to person as well. And, maybe there's special events where you do more or different things. So I don't know what this would be called, but maybe I would tweak that name a little bit. Ashley, that's a great question, and it just made me hungry. No, voiceover is perfectly fine because I think you talking in the background, over sizzling bacon is going to be really challenging to hear you correctly. So a voiceover is a perfectly good alternative to using the audio in the clips. You still want to make sure you satisfy the requirement of being in the project. So if we're doing a lot of like close-ups of hands and stuff, we still want to see your face. So maybe for your intro and outro, you can be on camera, but a voiceover is perfectly fine. Yeah. And you can record that on your phone. You can record that directly into WeVideo. I would probably recommend using the voice recording app that comes on the phone. I know some people might instinctually just go, oh, well, I was in the middle of watching a video. Some people might instinctively just go, oh, well, I'll record a video of me talking and then only use the audio, which is a viable option. But I think if you use, I'm trying to find it. I don't really ever use it. I think I have it under my utilities. Yeah, I think it's just called Voice Memos. I've never used it. That's funny. No, I've used it. Okay. You can hit record and bring it closer to your mouth, so the audio quality is going to be a lot clearer. If I'm doing a video, you can aimlessly be doing it just right here in your hand, and it's not going to sound as great or consistent if you talk with your hands like I do when you move. So just kind of hitting record and getting it close where those levels are, but then being able to keep it consistent in a quiet environment, you might actually have more control. So a taste test or a sound test. The other thing I'd recommend, it may be kind of weird, but if you're going to record audio separately like that for a voiceover, find a nice quiet environment. And I cannot stress how well a fully stocked closet goes. Like in a bedroom closet. I wouldn't find like a hallway closet or like a garage, something that has a lot of clothing in it, because it's going to dampen the sound and the echo. It'll sound really nice. So it may be weird to be like in a closed closet, like a closed door closet filled with clothes, sitting on the floor with shirts and dresses hitting your head with your Chromebook on the ground, and you're talking into your phone, but it's probably going to sound really good. So that would be my recommendation for recording the voiceover. Which, side note, the audio mix in your Twitter scoop video yesterday was much better. I apologize. I meant to say that to you. There was two things I forgot to mention yesterday. That was one of them. The other one was Ali and Jess adding text to their videos was helpful. But yes, your audio was mixed much better this time around. And now I got to find something with... I don't even keep bacon in the house. I love bacon, but only when I go out. Otherwise, it's turkey bacon, which, as we all know, is not as good. Keep those questions or situational stuff coming, folks. I just got to jot a few things down on my notepad here. Oh man, you can really see my bald spot on my head. That's embarrassing. But that's okay. So I know I made some suggestions for Ali and Caitlin and Ryan. If you guys feel free to like unsubmit, make those changes, resubmit if you want to. That's perfectly fine. And if you want to bounce, you're more than welcome to bounce as well. Again, today was just to make sure that people can check in on stuff, get some help with stuff. All right. Using WeVideo, that I know it's really hard to gauge the audio mix because you can really only go by how it sounds in your headphones. As there are no formal audio meters or anything like that. I hear birds chirping. That's a good thing. Oh, Allie took hers back. That's okay. Hopefully it comes in again. Nope, not going to do that. Holy smokes. Oh, God. Oh, no. It seems like our video segment featuring Mr. Stevenson is getting some buzz. I'm going to let them know. That's funny. Well, that's good. It means people are watching it. And we do want people to watch, for show. For show. All right. Anyone else out there in the chat need some help? Have some questions? If you've turned it in, I've looked at it. I got one more turned in, but Megan's not here, and that's okay. All right, another food one. I'm really good at making egg and cheese breakfast sandwiches. I was actually thinking about that this morning as I was putting together my breakfast sandwich. I've got it down to a science. I should have done that as my example instead of grilled cheese. Because I don't have bread. Oh, but how good would a grilled cheese and bacon sandwich be? Ashley, I want to just leave the bacon outside. I want to come get it. Oh, okay, cool. Allie turned it back in. Awesome. I saw it disappear for a second. So I figured you were making a change, but that's wonderful. How to make quick and easy crayon art. I'm in. That's it. That's perfect. All right, it's got how-to in there, so we know what to expect. Quick and easy, always plus things, and then crayon art lets us know what it is. It may seem like a simple change, but I think it's way more effective and clear than the last one was. So awesome. I'm excited to watch that because I've never done it, but I've always wanted to. Must go through a lot of canvases, though. I guess, well, and crayons, of course. Huh. All right. Yeah. Cool. Well, now I'm going to watch it, and then in 2.5 minutes, I will have learned something new, which is always the best. A blown out window over there. All right, so Allie, if you're good, you feel free. You don't have to linger by any stretch of the imagination. If you want to bounce and get an early start to your weekend, go for it. It looks like the sun's popping out there, so enjoy the weather. Oh, it is. Curious. Let's see. Anybody have any fun and exciting things going on this weekend? Now that the parks are open, we can golf again. You know, the two things everyone wants to do. Actually, I would love to go golf. It's not going to happen, but I would love to. Sorry, I'm just getting caught up on what teachers are saying about our show. All right, YouTube chatters. I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock because we've been quiet for a while. Excuse me. So if there's a question or something that comes in the next 5 minutes, of course, I'll be here for it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to go start to make lunch, but I am going to end the stream in 5 minutes unless we've got some chatter going, only because I'm fighting with my internet service provider in the frequency in which I am using their bandwidth. The next few classes, I'm still toying with it. I know you guys as upperclassmen are probably accustomed to some last minute changes. I still want to make myself available on our scheduled shooting days and editing days. I might do that via Zoom and just do like a 4-hour live meeting and people can come and go as they please. And that way we can there's questions, I don't think there's going to be a ton of people over those days. It would be a little bit easier than the YouTube, and we can just interact a little bit more quickly. Oh, Ashley submitted. Dun 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 dun. Really good at making bacon. So, It's the number one breakfast. I can, like, the number one breakfast food. I don't know. I've always considered it like a side dish, right? Like, you have pancakes and bacon, you have eggs and bacon. Although no one ever says, "Oh, I'm making eggs and bacon." It's always bacon and eggs. They always say bacon first. Interesting. Okay. Now, the only thing you may want to consider, Ashley, is given the variations, and I know it sounds silly, but like in how bacon can be made or preferred, I don't know if you want to even narrow it down a little bit there, because what you think is the perfect bacon, I might differ on. So do you like your bacon crispy? Do you like it like a little, like I like mine a little undercooked? I know that sounds kind of gross. I'm not saying it's like unhealthy to eat. It's cooked all the way through, but I like it chewy. I know that's weird. Because most people go, "Oh no, burnt it." My mom burnt bacon. Like, she wants it like brittling up in her hands. So I don't know if it's worth specifying in your title, at least, how to make the most perfect crispy bacon or something like that. Also, be careful in shooting, just because, that bacon grease is going to splatter. So, like, be careful if you're thinking about doing close-ups with a camera and you're cooking bacon, because you don't want grease to get on that lens. Bacon is so versatile, and breakfast is so good. It's the best meal. Sorry, I'm just hungry now. Everything's the best meal. Interesting. Okay, so you right away, step 2, cut the bacon in half, allowing it to cook quicker and fit better on a roll or bagel. I've never done that, nor have I honestly ever even thought about doing that. So you're 2 steps in, and I've already kind of picked up something that I can try the next time I go to make bacon. Paper towel covered plate. That's what I've always done that and never even questioned it, because that's how it was always done in my house. But I've always found it funny going somewhere and having someone's making breakfast and they just throw it right on a plate, and then they like have to dab it to get the grease off. 1, I love the grease. Give me the grease. But 2, I always thought the paper towel technique was commonplace. And then once you get the first layer done, you put another paper towel on top of it for the second layer. You can cook half the package or the full package if you are hungry. One thing to look into for that, uber specific to your project, I know, is when you're prepping the bacon, is the bacon frozen or is it defrosted? Because you may want to look into freezing. Like, if you've thawed the bacon, I don't think you can then save half the bacon. So if you go from frozen to defrosted and then cook it, you'd have to cook all of it. I don't think you can go from frozen to cooking half of it and then refreezing the first half. So you may want to just kind of make note of that, either in your instructions or a special note where if you're cooking bacon, like you got it home from the store and it's thawed, you can make half of it, freeze the rest. But I would look into whether or not, because I don't think you can or should, thaw bacon and then freeze it again. I can't help but picture bacon this whole time while reading, and it's amazing. Good use of the top-down shot. Perfect bacon every time. Succinct, but wonderful. Ashley, I love it. That's great. Why wouldn't it be frozen? Well, like if I buy it at the store, like I'm going shopping Monday, I probably wouldn't cook bacon unless I had the time to cook bacon, which would be on the weekend. So you can freeze bacon. So I might freeze it and then defrost it when I want to make it. But I don't know if you can defrost it and then refreeze an unused portion. I think if you, well, yeah, you can put it back in the fridge. I guess you would just have to cook it again relatively soon. I would imagine, raw meat in the fridge, even over a couple of days, is going to start to get a little funky. But your household, use of bacon it sounds like it's different than what mine was growing up. So that's all. Allie, when should I start filming and do I need a script? So you don't need a formal script, okay? The thoroughness in your, in part 2, the process, the step-by-steps, some of that is going to translate to the exact wording you're going to say on camera. So I don't need to see a formal script. You clearly have demonstrated that you know what it is you're going to show. So we're going to trust your ability to make sure you're saying the right things confidently and clearly. So if you feel you want to map out certain things, go for it. I'm not going to require it as hey, you need to give me a formal script. And then as far as when you want to start shooting, you can start shooting as soon as you want. I made sure to allocate some class time for those that are on a stricter schedule. Some people that, maybe they work during the evening and I've got 6 hours at home, but 4 of them are online classes. That time is dedicated for that. So you can start shooting right now. You can shoot tomorrow. You can shoot really any time between now and when the project's due. I would just say sooner rather than later so you know what you have that you're working with in your edit. Okay, Ashley, thank you. You too, enjoy your weekend. I hope you get outside a little bit. It's supposed to be nice and our parks are open, so enjoy. And I look forward to watching your video when I'm hungry and craving bacon. Man, this sun is popping in and out. All right, gang, we'll extend the clock out another 2 minutes here, but unless anything comes in, I'll wrap up for the day, and then I'll make sure in Classroom it's posted Monday. I know I don't see you Monday, but I'll put it in Monday, or I'll try to the what Tuesday's class day will look like, if that's technically our first production day. I still want to be available for anyone that needs help, so we'll make sure you know what that looks like ahead of time. It might look just like this, which is perfectly fine. Allie, thank you so much. You too. Excellent job on your assignment. I'm looking forward to seeing it, but you have a great weekend as well, and stay safe as well. All right, for everyone else, that's going to about do it for today. Because if you're here, I have your assignment already and probably gave you some feedback. And if we're not here and you're checking out the stream later, then, well, there wasn't much going on, but that's why we should be here, so that you can get that feedback one-on-one with me. Grades will go up soon for the practice project, and just a reminder that I will be taking your pre-production worksheet up until Tuesday for full credit because of the error on my part. So that being said, enjoy your weekend, and I will see you all on Tuesday. All right, adios.